There we go. We are good.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town of Limington Select Board meeting for January 2nd, 2025. We'll call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock p.m. and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We will begin with the approval of the meeting minutes for December 26th. No, we weren't here that week.
No,
So
but we gotta,
it would be,
oh, right.
26th and 2nd.
well, tonight's the 2nd.
Oh.
So
19th.
it would be the meeting minutes for for December 19th, 2024, right? Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes for December 19th.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Approval of the warrants for week number 52 and week number 1. Shouldn't the warrants have reset for the new year?
It did week 1.
That's week one.
Right, but it's,
Last one was week 52 weeks in a year, and then the first week.
right, but the warrant is,
It doesn't,
we have 120 and 122.
because we did it in December.
But,
No, it didn't.
These warrants are paying for December, week one. We haven't done the warrants for this week until next week.
so we're not approving the week 1 warrants. We're just approving the week 52 warrants.
No, it's technically week 1,
It's technically week 1
yes.
because the
The payday.
30th, right? Okay, all right, thank you. Payroll warrant 120 and 122. The amounts for those are $61,086.47. Those
Those will change next week.
those numbers do need to be separate for each warrant, but that's fine. We can work with it this week. And then we got the appropriations warrant, 121 and 123. The totals for those is $60,402.57. And the totals for warrants 120, 121, 122, and 123 is $121,489.04. Recurring bills, Bureau of Motor Vehicles for $10,664.38. CMP for $1,387.29. UniFirst for $196.86. Paying David Lonsby, our ACO, for mileage, $193.63. We are reimbursing Madison Moody. He spent $1 on acquiring a bus for the town of Leamington, but it is the town of Leamington's property, so we are insisting that we reimburse Madison for that purchase of $1. And then the Treasury of State Vital Records, $129.20. I'll wait a motion.
I make a motion, we accept payroll warrants 120 and 122 and appropriations warrant 121 and 123.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Tammy, could you take us through the purchase orders, please?
Yes. Purchase order request for fire and EMS. A request to pay Boundtree for medical supplies, $1,111.58. A request to pay Amazon for office supplies, $29.86. A request to pay CPR Professionals of Maine, $600. A request to pay Keyser Falls Napa Auto Parts, Engine 1 and 2, $1,146.66. A request to pay AAA Extinguisher, Fire Extinguisher Maintenance, $555.50.
I'll make a motion to approve the fire and EMS purchase order requests.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Municipal Complex purchase orders. A request to pay purchase power for postage, $3,465. A request to pay WB Mason for floor mat, $80.91.
I'll make a motion to approve the municipal complex purchase order request.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Parks and Recreation POs. A request to pay U-Line for cabinets, $1,853.02. Extreme Screen and Sportswear, $514.
I'll make a motion to approve the Parks and Rec purchase order requests.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Code Enforcement. A request to pay Cody Woodcraft for second half of office expansion, $1,547.50. A request to pay Town of South Berwick for verbal judo class for 2 people, $220. And a request to pay Cardinal Electric for electrical office expansion, $725.
I'll make a motion to approve the Code Enforcement Office purchase order requests.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Public Works. A request to pay Palmer Springs for spring and parts, $1,198.48. A request to pay Brookline Machine for truck 10 motor and valve, $1,174.01. A request to pay Cornish Hardware for snow shovels, $117.97. A request to pay Napa Auto Parts for $452.92. A request to pay Keyser Falls Napa for hydro fluid and hose, $1,283.45. A request to pay O'Connor for auto parts, $50. A request to pay HP Fairfield for hydro tank cap assembly, $96.34. A request to pay Allied Equipment for control valve repair kit, $1,604.12. A request to pay Eastern Salt for bulk road salt, $29,227.94.
I'll make a motion to approve the Public Works Department purchase order requests.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Planning Board, a request to pay Amazon for toner, $168.52.
I'll make a motion to approve the Planning Board purchase order request.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
And the Library, a request to pay Amazon for books, $61.
Make a motion to approve the Library purchase order request.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Weekly activities. First off, the board would like to wish everybody a happy new year and hope your holidays were enjoyable. Mine certainly were. We have sent a message out to the different department heads reminding them that between now and the town meeting, it is imperative that we keep department spending to a minimum, so not to overstep what we are allowed to spend until the town meeting. Should be pretty easy. This is pretty standard for yearly operation procedures. We are looking forward to that meeting coming up in March. We have an executive session scheduled for January 9th, 2024. That's next Thursday, pursuant to 1 MRSA subsections 405-6A and 6E. We will, that's all I have to say on that. We will be meeting, we're trying to meet with Richard Cromwell next week or maybe the week after. He's the individual from Maine Municipal Association that's going to be helping us with finding the right candidate for the town manager position. Also, a letter came in today from the Francis Small Heritage Trust. If you're unfamiliar with the Francis Small Heritage Trust, this organization is responsible for the upkeep and care of quite a few properties around town and in southern Maine. They have some wonderful walking trails around town that actually I got to enjoy the sanctuary over on 25 towards the end of Cornish. I'm having a hard time remembering the name. I'm sure somebody online will tell me what it is. But they sent us a letter and have given the town a gift of $1,100 as payment in lieu of taxes. Their property is held for public use and is technically tax exempt, so they are not taxed. We do appreciate their gift of $1,100. It certainly helps with with maintaining the town. So on behalf of the Select Board, I'd like to thank the Friends of Small Heritage Trust for their gift, and wish them a prosperous and fulfilling year. That's all I got. What do we have for weekly updates from the different departments?
Planning Board, this Monday, January 6th, 7 o'clock will be a conditional use permit for Joel Morales Auto Shop on Durgan Farm Road, and 7:15, a sign Earl Bunting's subdivision plan. And minutes and other business, and that will start at 7 o'clock on the 6th. That's pretty much it from the Planning Board. The Code Office, as of, let me see here. So the totals come in, 2 building permits, 1 plumbing, 2 occupancy permits, totaling $820. And it looks like the total year-to-date as of 12/18 was $140,604.40 taken in for the code office. Fire and EMS, week ending on the 28th. Number of calls this week, 15. Month to date, 63. Year to date, 754. 1 fire call and 14 EMS calls. The schedule was complete for the week. Nothing in-house due to the holidays. The overhead door, that was just fixed this afternoon. Ossipee door came in and replaced the springs, so I believe that is up and functioning as it should now. So that's good, thank them. Still waiting on Gowan to repair the municipal complex generator. They're currently 24 calls ahead of last year, this month to date, and year to date, they're 22 calls ahead of the year, so.
That was December.
As of the ending December 28th, so. And that is all I have for updates.
All right, thank you, Jason. What do you have for us, Tammy?
Just a shout out to Parks and Rec, because their before and after care is probably back in session now, with school starting today after the Christmas break, and everybody had hopefully a lovely time off for that school vacation for everybody, and they got recharged and ready to go again. Also, we will be meeting with the Financial Advisory Committee on January 17th to go over this next year's budget and warrants. We'll be talking about those, so, yeah, and that's what I've got.
It won't be televised, but it's open for the public if you want to come in and sit and watch. There's no public comment. This is just a open workshop for us to finalize the budget and prep it for the book. So,
Yep.
just to let everybody know they are welcome.
January 17th.
Yes,
Yep. What day is that? Is that a?
that's a Friday.
That's a
That's a
Friday.
Friday, at 5:30 PM.
All right. Jason, do you want to do the little informational bulletin?
Yeah. Select Board hours are Thursdays 2 to 8 PM. On-air time is 7. Transfer stations are Saturdays and Sundays from 9 to 4 PM, and Wednesdays 12 to 4 PM. Transfer station sticker must be attached to your vehicle's windshield to dispose of all items. The station sticker is available at the town office for $20. No sticker is required to use the swap shop. Transfer station does not accept brush, yard clippings, or hazardous waste. Riverside Recycling in Portland takes the hazardous waste. The general assistance office hours are Wednesdays, 12:30 to 2:30. Applications are available from the town clerk's office during normal business hours. Applications must be filled out and accompanied with supporting documentation and must be signed. Planning Board meets at the municipal complex the first and third Mondays evenings at 7 PM.
Thank you, Jason.
Yes.
We don't have much of an audience. I don't suppose the chief might want to get up and say a couple of things. Sure. Great. Thank you.
I had a feeling you might offer that opportunity, so I brought a whole stack of paper with me. So we closed out the year with 777 calls, which is 30 calls ahead of last year. Our dependency on mutual aid went down by another 44 calls, so we're doing very well. I got too much paper here, so I can't go through it all. But we put on just over 45,000 miles with all the apparatus over the course of the year. Our busiest day over the whole year was Thursday, and our busiest hour was the 10 o'clock hour. Calls to Sockopee, I have kept track of that over the last few years just because that's where we typically do the most mutual aid. That continues to go down even though our amount of mutual aid out has gone up. That just shows the other services are calling on us now. So, but yeah, there's a 19 call decrease in going to Sockopee. So they're doing better at covering their time. Training. We do in-house training, we do online training, and we go to other services that are hosting trainings. And so any certs that I received from people doing any sort of training at all, I tracked over the past year. And the man hours equals 1,090 and 3/4 hours, resulting in, excuse me, a total of 422 training certs put in training files. In-house, we did, total trainings over the course of the year was 113. So been a pretty busy year for us. And the one person, the highest attended training, I guess is the best way to say it, was 58 by one person over the whole year. Total in hours for salary over the course of the year was 3,119. Full-time hours, 7,107. So that's the 4 full-time people that work on the ambulance throughout the week all year long. Per diem shifts was 8,415 hours. Overtime, 573 hours. Holiday pay at time and a half was 609 hours. Holiday at straight time was 482 hours. Officer hours was 249, and then paid on call, so that's the fire department side that doesn't have a schedule, was 846 hours. So a lot of time put in. I was going to work on, I haven't gotten to it yet, based on our budget, the price per call. I feel like that our price per call is actually going down, even though the budget has small increases, but our call volume is going up at a greater rate. So it doesn't help anybody when they're looking at their tax bill, but the reality of it is that it is costing less per call to respond. So.
Great. Thank you, Chief. With no other public comment, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, all in favor? We are adjourned at 7:18 p.m. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week.